the cell retired and competition for the spot has been skyrocketing.
I think I have a high chance of getting the job.
They said that. Listen, the ER is definitely the organelle fit for the position. I prepare the best quality proteins by folding and packing them. My folded double membrane studded with ribosomes is amazing to increase the surface area for transport and allows me space to fold polypeptides. All the ribosomes do is dump polypeptides into my station, and the translocon protein has to do all the work, facilitating the new proteins into my lumen. New batch?
Yeah.
I prepare all the proteins this cell needs. After all, I create the Golgi proteins, the lysosomal enzymes, the secretary proteins. Without me, the cell wouldn't even have membrane proteins. I'm the one that attaches sugar groups to proteins to make glycoproteins. Without these, the cell would be identified as a foreign entity and undergo apoptosis. Oh yeah, can you bring these to the Golgi?
Sure.
Thanks.
I'm the best at my job, which is synthesizing lipids and putting proteins and lipids into vesicles. My smooth membrane is branched into tubules that are connected with a three-way junction, making it the perfect network for vesicles to butt off of. The membrane enzymes synthesize lipids from fatty acids and glycerol heads gathered from the cytosol. These phospholipids tend to embed themselves into my bilayer. For the cell membrane, flip-based proteins guide the phospholipids into my lumen so they can be packed into vesicles. I'm also responsible for all your smooth muscle contractions because in muscle cells, I'm a specialized version of myself called the sarcoplasmic reticulum. I store the calcium ions necessary for multiple cell functions such as protein localization, protein stability, and optimization. I also balance calcium homeostasis by releasing it from the SCR to the cytoplasm when calcium levels outside our organelle are low.
What's that?
The ribosomes are causing trouble again. HR here. Hope your day has been well, rough ER. It's not going to be so well after this news you'll hear. So the ribosomes are kind of making more polypeptides than usual. Hope you guys can handle it. Best of luck, cell nucleus. We can't do this. We'll just end up with a lot of misfolded proteins. The ER degradation pathway won't recognize them and translocate them across the membrane so that the proteasomes in the cytoplasm can degrade it.
Don't you remember protocol, the unfolded protein response? We can use it to activate intracellular signal pathways that pass around protein chaperones to increase folding of proteins, as well as inhibiting protein translation to prevent misfolded proteins.
I remember that. I guess we'll be fine after all.
Do you want to know what I just heard?
What?
Apparently there's this disease called Parkinson's that causes the body to move uncontrollably. It's because of protein aggregates, which are when the ER produces misfolded proteins that bind together into this large mass that has lost its original function. Dysfunctional UPR lets mutations in the Parkin gene to bypass and encode for an enzyme that halts the function of proteins being produced.
Jeez, that sounds horrible.
Okay, that's true, but people with Parkinson's disease typically live into their 70s, which is close to the average age of death of 73 years. Also, the average age of diagnosis is 60, and the life expectancy is pretty good after that, which is 14 and a half years. Plus, there are a bunch of treatments such as levodopa, adenosine receptor antagonists, COMT inhibitors, and more that all contribute to a better quality of life. I don't know if you could say the same for yourself.
What are you talking about?
Wow, don't you know that you have a really rare disease called Schwartzman-Diamond syndrome? It encodes for a protein that causes bone marrow failure, skeletal, cardiac, immune, and hematologic abnormalities. Leukemia often appears in people with this disease, and your life expectancy is way lower than ours. It's in the 30s to 40s, and there are no treatments. And you, the lysosome, have storage diseases such as Fabry disease, Gaucher disease, and Hunter syndrome, which are caused by deficiencies in lysosomal enzymes, which then cause a toxic buildup that damages cells and organs. Can't believe them trying to spread rumors about us at the ER. What a bad look.
Hand it over.